Hey guys, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and I am about to leave and go have lunch with a girlfriend today, so that'll be really fun. But I definitely wanted to read to you about a little bit more on Hoodoo before I left, and because you know, like when you get ready to go and then you have half an hour and you've got nothing to do, this is that. I have to leave in half an hour. So, before I say anything, I've been starting these Conjure and Hoodoo videos by saying that Conjure has to have one thing, and that one thing is the Christian Bible, okay? So it makes it a little bit of a taboo topic in witchcraft sometimes, because some witches don't understand how Christianity can be worked into witchcraft, but I do, and if you want to know more about that, let me know. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Wiccan. I practice witchcraft. I'm eclectic, and I serve and honor many, many gods and ask them for help. And yeah, so really excited learning about Conjure, and the book that we're reading from today is this. Here's the author. Old Style Conjure, Hoodoo, Rootwork, and Folk Magic. Star Cassis. And the bit that we're on to right now is protection during a reading, because we're in divination and talking about how to do divination with bones, etc. So, protection during a reading. We'll just jump right in, shall we? The next thing that is really important when you are doing divination is protection. Anytime we start laying out cards, and they're using playing cards in Conjure, or throwing bones for a client, we are linking our spirit in some small way with theirs. It is important that we keep ourselves cleansed and protected, because not everyone you are around in your daily life or who will come to you for guidance does. And I have to say this, you guys. I did massage therapy for the last 8 years. 9 if you include school, so last 9 years. And I've not done bone divination yet, but I do work with spirit, and I can say that working with spirit is a lot like doing too much massage, or working with somebody who's a draining emotional vampire, or that just wants to tell you all about like how their life sucks and blah blah blah. When you're touching them, you're physically absorbing that energy whether you want to or not. And I've told you many times I've had to vomit in the middle of massage, like leave massage to vomit, because there's so much heavy that I'm absorbing through the palms of my hands. One of the most delicate spaces that you have are the palms of your feet and hands, and you absorb that directly into your bloodstream. So anyway, protection is important. Grounding yourself is important. I have found that most folks outside of Conjure do not worry about doing regular cleansing, much less keeping protection work going. These are two of the most important works you should keep going. Your life would run a lot smoother. I'm going to share with you steps I take and that I teach my students. When you are ready to open a reading for a client, you need a white handkerchief and 3 candles, a red one, a white one, a blue one. Let me explain the colors. Now, Conjure Magic and the Conjure Color Magic is different than the other Color Magic series that I've done. Those are just for witchcraft in general. Conjure's got its own set of colors. The red candle represents the blood of the ancestors that runs through your veins. Okay? Now, you don't have to be directly related to our slave ancestors of Conjure. But when you adopt Conjure as a practice, symbolically, you adopt them as your ancestors. This is what I understand. The white candle represents you or the client, because you can do readings for yourself. Like tarot, they suggest, or I've read, that you're not really supposed to do readings for yourself, but this is awesome because it's a divination where you can do a reading yourself. So the white candle represents either you or the client, whoever the reading is for. And the blue one is for King Solomon. Now, I'm a person who is not scared off by Aleister Crowley and his magical workings. However, I've never done a spell of his or anything like that. I've just read a load of his stuff. Now, every time I bring this up, I lose a couple subscribers. That's okay. But these are my truths. And he has done so much practical research in magic. It's a lifetime of work that he just completely devoted, and a lot of it was dark and ugly and disgusting, but some of it was not. And I just have to say that he worked directly with King Solomon. King Solomon's not always like the nicest spirit. So I'm trying to figure out how I feel about that, but I'm not scared off by it in general. If you don't know who King Solomon is, just maybe Google or YouTube King Solomon and witchcraft, and then see what you can find out. Okay, so the blue one is for King Solomon. King Solomon represents wisdom and knowledge. He is very much needed in this type of work. Number 1, lay the white hanky or handkerchief out on the reading table. Then place the red, white, and blue candles on your reading table in a straight line. So, handkerchief, and then boom, 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 candles. Place the red one on the left, the white one in the center, and the blue one on the right. Red, white, blue. Carve the client's name on the white candle that's placed in the center. I like to use a rusty nail to carve because not only are nails used to nail things down, but the rust on the nail adds extra power. I need to go to the thrift store and find me some rusty nails, but they never sell them, so maybe I can just like forage in my father's garage. Go forage in your parents' garage and see if you can find you some rusty nails for your conjure. Or for anything. You just know that like what it represents, nailing something down, and that the rusty nail is extra power. Okay? And number 3, dress the candle with holy oil. You can make a simple holy oil by praying Psalm 23 from the Bible into a new bottle of olive oil. And you want to breathe your words into the bottle. You simply remove the cap and hold the bottle up to your mouth and say the prayer into the bottle, pushing your words in. So you could say, make them long and lengthy, so you push your breath in like, Holy Bible, if that was the word. That made it really breathy. I'll say I have dreadlocks. I have dreadlocks. Breathe it in. That was funny, right? Okay, number 4. Now, pick up each candle. Makes it nice when you have a holder on it. Pick up each candle and hold it up to your mouth. Pray to each candle, asking Spirit to open up your eyes so that you see clarity. So it's telling you to do it like this. Spirit, open up my eyes so that I can see clarity. You see how your breath is moving that? That's a good way to be doing it. Pray into each candle, asking Spirit. Petition your ancestors as you hold the red candle up to your mouth. It's really nice to have these ones that have the holders on the sides. They're going to work great for conjure. So as you hold the red one up next to your mouth, petition your ancestors. Call for the spirit of discernment as you hold the white candle to your mouth. I don't have a white candle burning right now. Well, my altar candle's white, but you don't want to mess with that one. Petition the prophet Solomon as you hold the blue candle to your mouth. After you have prayed over all the candles, place the photo of the person you are reading for under the white candle. Like that. Spread your bone reading handkerchief in front of the candle and lay your bones on top of the hanky. Light your candles from right to left and start your opening prayers. Knock 3 times on the table and call to the ancestors. Petition your ancestors to come and to only let the truth be known in this reading. This may seem like a simple candle setup, but it is very powerful because you are opening the door to your ancestors to meet you. That's awesome, you know? And again, we're not talking about our blood ancestors. We're talking about the ancestors of Conjure. Our new ancestors in Conjure. The slaves that were brought over from Africa to Americas. Light your candles from right to left and start your opening prayers. No, I already said that. I'm sorry. Number 9. Now you are ready to start. Now you're ready to read your bones. Pick up your bones in your hands and then hold them up to your mouth so your breath can cover them. As you pray, Kings 3, verse 9 through 14. And then it gives you that whole thing that you're going to say, and it's quite long. It's quite long. So you say that over your bones. When you are finished praying over the bones, and your breath is just going all over that, because that's important, and it seems in this conjure work. Whether you are reading for a client or yourself, the steps are the same. Hold the bones up close to the client's mouth and tell him or her to say their name over the bones 3 times. Jennifer, Jennifer, Jennifer. And then, over 3 times. If the video cuts off, I'll have to make a part 2. I just had a flash up that said, recording will be stopped. I don't know why. Okay, so you say your name 3 times. Jennifer, Jennifer, Jennifer. And then you... I got all scatterbrained. And then blow 3 breaths onto the bones. Not... I would do 3 big breaths from your lungs. Like that. That's what my intuition tells me anyway. By doing this, you are letting the bones pick up on the spirit of the client so they can be read. When you gently drop the bones on your white handkerchief, then you gently drop your bones on your white handkerchief. Watch how the bones fall. Then you continue reading. Once the reading is over, it is time to close the door. For me, this is the most important part of the reading because you don't want a spirit that might have been drawn to the reading and the power of the prayer and the flame of the candle you lit hanging around after the reading is done. When the reading is over, thank your ancestors for sharing their guidance with you and your client. Pick up your bones and hold them in your... Pick up your bones and hold them in your mouth. To your mouth. I was like, in your mouth? No. Hold them to your mouth. Where am I? Hold them to your mouth. Pick up your bones. Where your petition will flow over them. Petition your ancestors by praying. Ancestors, I petition you. Just as you woke the bones up, you will now put them back to sleep so they can rest. Then thank the Trinity or your higher power for showing you the way. Ask that everyone go in peace. Then you call on Solomon and thank him for sharing his wisdom with you. Thank him for standing beside you during this reading. The next step is to snuff your candles out. Don't blow them out. Snuff them out. Important in conjure. Only time you blow them out is for a specific reason, which we've already talked about in one of these videos. Start with the one on the left and then move across to the right. You open the door for spirit to come in by lighting the candles from right to left. Now you must shut the door, and this is done by putting out the flames from left to right. After you snuff out the candles, wrap up your bones in the white hanky and then place them on your ancestor altar. Each time you do a reading and you work this conjure candle setup, you are building a stronger link between yourself, your bones, and the ancestors. It is very important that you know how to open and close the gate to the spirits. I was taught that just the act of laying out the cards or throwing the bones is opening the door for spirits to walk through, so it is important that you know that the door is shut once it has been opened. I want to end this section on throwing the bones with something that you might not know. Did you know that the Bible speaks about throwing lots? I'm not sure, but I think that in that time it was either stones or sticks that were being thrown. There are multiple references to it, though. Lots were cast or thrown to define information. This comes straight from the Bible. I checked. It's true. Throwing lots is a way of finding out information through the Holy Ghost. It's a gift from God. Corinthians 2, verse 9 through 14. There's a whole bunch of information in this book. It reads through it, and it's so cool. One part right here, it says, and they said, everyone to his fellow, come and let us cast lots, which means throw the sticks for divination. That way we may know for whose caused this evil upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell upon Jonah. So they did divination to find out who had cast evil upon them. I think that's really interesting that in the Bible, the holiest of books, you know, they were doing like conjure or witchcraft magics. Okay, so then in another video, we're going to go all over card reading and how they did the card reading. When I get back from lunch, we'll be talking about that. We'll be doing lots of other stuff today, but I'm really into this conjure book. Super, super into it. Thanks for joining me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, by a little candlelight. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, you guys.